Good morning, dear students. Today I am going to tell you the summary of the chapter Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. Dear students, this story is all about British rule, where Africans were oppressed, there were no freedom. It is also called a human disaster existed upon the Africans. Africans were outlaws at the time. There were continuous bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and utter discrimination. Dear students, in this chapter, Nelson Mandela is talking about apartheid, that is, institutionalized racial segregation by whites upon the blacks. People were classified into four: black, white, Indian, and colored. People separated due to race. Dear students, the story Long Walk to Freedom is not only about the freedom, it is all about the problems that were created by Britishers for the other people. The story was first published in 1994. Dear students, in this story, Nelson Mandela is talking about different freedom fighters. Few names are given on the screen. They are Oliver Tombos, Walter Sissolis, Chief Luthulis, Yusuf Dadus, Bram Fishers, Robert Sufkis, etc. Dear students, as per Nelson Mandela, freedom was not that he have got, but Nelson Mandela said that freedom was a cooperative effort of all the freedom fighters, whose name Nelson Mandela did not forget to write in the story. Dear students, Nelson Mandela was born on 18 July 1918 and died on 5th of December 2013. He was a freedom fighter and also a member of ANC, African National Congress. He fought for the Africans, but he was arrested for 30 years and released in 1990. Later, elections were held and he was elected as the first president in 1994 of South Africa. Dear students, this is to remember first black president of South Africa. His autobiography is called Long Walk to Freedom. A little excerpt of that autobiography we are going to read as a chapter, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Dear students, he was a first president. The process was quite a great moment. The elections were held on 27 April 1994. Around 252 out of 400 seats won by African National Congress. Nelson Mandela was elected as first president from 1994-1999. In that time, first deputy president was Thabo Mbeki and second deputy president F.W. Clark. The inauguration on 10th May 1994. It happened in the Union Building Amphitheatre in Pretoria. More than 140 countries, politicians and dignitaries attended. Nelson Mandela's daughter Zinani went along with him. President, first and second deputy president took oath for the country. Dear students, here you have to remember name of first president, first deputy president and second deputy president also. That were Thomas Mbeki and F.W. Clark. Dear students, in this part, first of all, second deputy president took oath, and then first and after that with Dr. Zinani, Nelson Mandela took oath. If we talk about arrangements given in the chapter, South African jets, helicopters and troops carriers rode in perfect formation over the Union Building. It was a military demonstration of the loyalty to democracy to new government. Highest generals of South African Defence Force and Police saluted Nelson Mandela. A chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the new South African flag, black, red, green, blue and gold. Two national anthems were sung. It is Nkosazana Afrika by whites and I Stem by blacks. Dear students, here when two national anthems were sung, we can say that Nelson Mandela were having both the responsibilities of whites and black. Even he was having respect towards the Britishers, Americans, and towards South Africans too. In his speech, Nelson Mandela quoted few things. Mandela took the oath in front of many other politicians and dignitaries of more than 140 countries. He also conferred glory and hope to newborn liberty since they achieved political emancipation. Nelson Mandela also pledged to liberate the Africans from continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender and other discrimination. He even said the South Africa would never experience uprising by another country. The sun would never set in Africa. He also prayed God to bless Africa. Here, Nelson Mandela said that now bad time will never come. Here, the sun would never set in Africa. It is the same meaning. By this line, Nelson Mandela would like to say that the time is going to be good. Nelson Mandela was also very grateful to the African patriots who struggled hard to liberate Africa. He was also thankful to them for he was the sum of all African patriots. By these lines, Nelson Mandela wants to say that whatever he had done, that was not a single effort, that was the effort done by all. If other patriots would not have done the things, then he would not be able to get the freedom. He was also pained since he was not able to see the result of all their sacrifices. Dear students, he was pained. Remember this thing. Dear students, Nelson Mandela also learned many things from the chapter, from the process, whatever he had done. So here we are going to know what he had learned from the things. Dear students, from his comrades he learned meaning of courage since he saw them risking and giving their life. He saw men tortured and showed their strength and resilience. He believed that brave are the one who conquers fear without being scared of. Dear students, as per him, the winning is not winning from the problem. Winning is the victory over the fear. If you are fearless, then as per Nelson Mandela, you are called the winner. That's why he believed that brave are the one who conquers fear without being scared of. These were the learnings that he had learned from his comrades. Comrades means friends, companions. Other than his comrades, he also learned many things from others. In the process of getting freedom for South Africa and for the people, he gradually learned that people know to love and don't need to be taught, but hate, on the other hand, is taught, thus resulting in hatred among everyone, as per Nelson Mandela. Love is a very natural being of a person. When a person is born, he is born with love. And if he can be taught to hate, then as per Nelson Mandela, he can be taught to love too. He believed that man's goodness is a flame that can never be extinguished. He and his friends were sent to prison. He could see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards for just a second. Thus, he believed that man's goodness can never be extinguished. Here, Nelson Mandela quoted that man is a born good person. A man is taught bad things in this world only. And that's why Nelson Mandela had faith that if a person can be taught to hate, then the person can also be taught to love too. That's why he said that man's goodness is the flame that can never be extinguished. Dear students, many important points and many good things we will surely learn after reading this chapter, Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom. According to him, a man has 10 obligations. Here, Nelson Mandela is quoting about obligations, the things that he had to follow. Number one, he was having obligations to his family, his parents. And second, for the society. He said that duties are for both. But a colored man could never fulfill his obligations in Africa due to the oppression and dominance of the whites. No freedom for blacks. Here Nelson Mandela said that even after having dual obligations to friend, family, relatives, and obligations to society, but as per him, no one was free to follow the rule. No one was free to express his will. That's why in South Africa, there were no freedom for blacks. Freedom meant different things to Nelson Mandela when he was at different stages of life. Dear students, there you have to remember the meaning of freedom as per the viewpoint of Nelson Mandela. Dear students, before moving ahead towards the stages of freedom by Nelson Mandela, I would like to say that Nelson Mandela was not knowing the meaning of freedom all the time. But when he came to know, the starving grew into him. As per Nelson Mandela, freedom was as a boy. When he was young, he enjoyed the freedom that was only an illusion. He was born free in every way. Free to run in the field near his mother's hut, free to swim in clear stream that ran through his village, free to roast maize under the stars and ride the boats black of slow moving bulls. Dear students, as per Nelson Mandela, in boyhood, these were the meanings of freedom. And as a student, he wanted freedom only for himself, the transitory freedom of being able to stay out at night, read what he pleased, go where he wanted to. Dear students, you have to remember the meaning of freedom. This is very important for board exams also. As a young man in Johannesburg, he yearned for basic and honorable freedom of achieving his potential, earning his keep, of marrying and having a family. As a young man, he also wanted freedom not to be obstructed in a lawful life, but slowly and gradually he realized that his freedom had already been taken from him, and he began to hunger for freedom. Dear students, as soon as he realized that freedom is not that he was feeling, but freedom is the way of expression, then he was starving for freedom. After that, he joined African National Congress. Then he realized that not only he, but all his African brothers and sisters were not free. In the book, in the chapter, it is said, people. Everyone's freedom was curtailed. Then only Nelson Mandela's hunger for his own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of his people. Then he started to fight. Dear students, till the time he was not knowing the real meaning of freedom, he was not starving for the freedom. But when he came to know, then he started. He believed that freedom is indivisible. Chains on any one of his people were chains on all of them, and chains on all of people were chains on him. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. He is locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. One is not truly free if he takes away someone else's freedom. Dear students, as per Nelson Mandela, he was free, but till the time the people and he was not free to express his thoughts, they were not free. These things inspired Nelson Mandela, desire for freedom of his people. Dear students, as you have read before too, when he was a boy, he was a young people, he was a student. He was feeling free, but desire for freedom of his people, live with dignity and self-respect, transformed his life. Frightened young man turned into a bold one, law-abiding attorney turned into a criminal, family-loving husband turned into a man without home, life-loving man turned into a monk. Dear students, the time when he realized what real freedom is, he started to earn for freedom. He started to fight for the freedom. And then he was a real freedom fighter. And after working a lot, after fighting for the freedom of people, he became the first black president. Remember, the first black president of South Africa. Dear students, we can think things like an illusion. In the same way, when he was not knowing what freedom is, the freedom, whatever he was seeing, that was like an illusion. He was struck in all those things. But when he came to know what real freedom is, he started to fight. And then he felt the problems. Then he felt the coordination of everyone. Dear students, he was a patriotic man who sacrificed his life just for the good and betterment of his people and became the first black president of a non-racial democratic republic government. Dear students, he could not have become the first black president if he could never started the fight towards the freedom. Dear students, always remember, leader is the one who initiates. We can think of lot of things, but if we will not start, then how we will be a proof leader. Dear students, hope your doubts are now cleared, and I wish that you go through the chapter completely, and wherever you are getting problem, you just feel free to ask anytime. All the very best. Thank you.